Hello and welcome. In this series of tutorial videos, we're going to begin to work with census data and to draw some conclusions. But to do that, this series of tutorial videos is going to walk you through the basics of census data, shapefiles, and tabular data, the nuances of metadata and how we can get field codes and information for variables out of there. We're also going to look at how to add tabular data to ArcGIS. We've already learned how to do adding shapefiles. And so now we're going to learn how to add tables and tabular information. We're going to learn how to minimize data because these data sets can get pretty big. So we're going to learn select by locations in particular. We're going to learn how to do joining spatial and tabular data together so they can talk to each other. Both in a geographic mapped drawing sense and also to all the tabular information. We're going to learn how to make that permanent. We're going to learn how to calculate population density, and then we're going to learn how to visualize both data in 2D and 3D. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to look at where is the data, where can you find the data. So to find the data in our class GIS data file, for those that don't have that, they'll have to go download that. For those that are viewing these videos for other purposes, you'll have to go and get that. See the written text above these videos for where you can find US census data. But in particular, we have a folder structure that has our class name, GIS data, raw data, and vector, and that will give us the map files. But within there, you're going to look for census boundary files. So here, if you remember from lecture and class, we have 1990 block group, we have 2000 block group, 1990 blocks, 2000 block, 2010 block group, and 2010 block. So these are the different census geometries. These are the ones that will show up in your map document when we load them up in a subsequent video, and they'll have the graphic representation of where they're located in the world on the map. And likewise, if we come over here to the screen on the right, within our class data, GIS data, we have a raw data folder, and inside that we have tables. Now inside of here is our census data files. Now this is the attribute information. Now there are some limited attributes, as you'll see in the shapefiles, but this is the wealth of other census information that's out there. The reason we don't have these in one file to start with is because there's just too much information and it becomes very unwieldy to download, upload, share, map, process. And so typically we keep them separate and then we join them as needed, which is part of this process. But again, we have 1990 block group CSV, but we also have a code book and then a CSV file, which is the attribute table, a code book that explains. And so we have all of those for 1990, 2000, and 2010. So we can join them for the block and block group. Now we have multiple tables in some cases because as we go through, you'll learn some variables are in one table while other variables are in another. For example, you might have total population, male, female, race, ethnicity, and a couple of other variables in like a summary table, while anything dealing with home ownership or income and poverty might be in a completely separate table. And then as we talked about class, the aggregation of data, less sensitive information is in the block, more sensitive information like poverty, income, education, and that sort get in the block group typically, although health information is a higher up, but we're not dealing with that, so we don't have that information here. So that's just kind of getting situated within the two different kinds of data files that we'll be dealing with. So that concludes this video. In our next video, we're going to dig into what these code books are. Thanks.